class, good morning and thank you for joining us in today's lesson. Today is the 13th of May 2021 and we are having English language right now with Junior Secondary 2. This is our student's book. Today we are on page 70. Page 70, we'll be talking about skills. You know, all along this unit, we'll be talking of traveling. The main topic of the unit is travel. And today we'll practice talking about transport. And we have some target vocabularies in this unit, or in this text. On this page, we have some target vocabulary. Those words that you see in the text written in blue are the vocabulary words. We are going to look at them. We have traffic, we have air traffic, controller, cab, carriage, customs, departure boards, escalator, passport control, rucksack, runway, traffic jam, and trolley. And also in this text, we'll be seeing some transport adjectives. We'll be seeing some transport adjectives which we have them on the board. We'll be seeing words like cheap, convenient, dangerous, economical, environmentally friendly, expensive, healthy, reliable, relaxing, slow, stressful, uncomfortable, and unreliable. So we are going to read the text. Question 1 says we should read the text and match the photos with paragraphs A to C. Here are the photos. Photos number 1, 2, and 3. And we have 3 paragraphs here. We will read this text and match the paragraphs to these pictures that we see there. So let's read the text. We were flying into London on our way home. We seemed to circle Heathrow Airport for ages, but at last the air traffic controller allowed our plane to land. After taxiing for the runway, the plane finally reached the terminal building. Once in the terminal building, we queued to go through passport control and wanted to collect our luggage. Our rucksacks arrived quickly and we didn't need a trolley, so we walked straight through customs and out of the airport. All we had to do now was get into London and catch a train home to Cambridge. After traveling around the world for 3 months, that was the easy part, or so we thought. Paragraph B. We decided to go by underground into central London, so we went down the escalator, bought a ticket, and made our way to the correct platform. It was unbelievably crowded, but we managed to push our way onto the train and it set off. However, when the train stopped at Kingsbridge station, a voice announced that there was a problem with the track ahead and we would have to get off and continue our journey by a different route. Paragraph C. Fortunately, there was a black cab outside, so we jumped in and asked the driver to take us to King's Cross station as quickly as possible. Then the cab came to a sudden halt. Not again. This time there was a terrible traffic jam. We didn't want to waste any more time, so we got out and walked to the station. We got there, bought our ticket, ran onto the platform and got into the nearest carriage. We had made it. Then we realized the train was going to Stevenage, not Cambridge. We hadn't checked the departures board and we were on the wrong track. We've just read the passage. In this text, you can see some words highlighted in blue. But before we go there, we will match the pictures to to the paragraphs. Paragraph or photo, picture number 1. Photo number 1, we can match photo number 1 according to the text. Looking at the picture, picture number 1 is overcrowded. Is crowded, so we match it. The paragraph that is talking about crowd is paragraph 1. Paragraph 1. Picture number 2. Picture number 2 is paragraph C. And number 3, paragraph B. That done, we have to complete the definitions with the correct form of words in blue in exercise 1. They have given us the definitions here. We have to match the definitions, or we fill in these blank spaces. We fill in these blank spaces that we have here with these words in blue. So we are first of all going to define the words in blue. We have number 1. Where is number 1? This is number 1. A dash is a place where planes take off or land. Which word? According to the text, a runway. A runway. A runway is a place where planes take off or and land. Number 2, a dash is a bag that you carry on your back. A rucksack. Rucksack. Number 3, and dash is a moving staircase. What is a moving staircase? An escalator. Number 4, a dash is a long line of cars that are not moving. Traffic jam. Number 5, a dash is a person who tells pilot when to take off and when to land. How do we call the person who controls the landing and the taking off of pilots? Aircraft controller. Aircraft controller is a person who tells pilot by radio when to take off and when to land. Number 6, is a section of a train for passengers. A dash is a section of a train for passengers. According to the text, the carriage. A carriage is a section of a train for passengers. Number 7 is where they can check your bags for illegal goods as you enter the country. Which word? Customs. They check your bag for illegal goods at the customs. Number 8, a dash is a place where you check your travel. Where do you check your travel when you arrive at the airport? Where do you check your travel? All these words are coming from here, from the text we've just read. So we check our travel at the passport control. Number 9, a dash tells you what time the plane or the train is leaving. A departure board. Number 10, a dash is a set of metal rails that the train runs. According to the text, we have a track. It's a set of metal rails that the train runs along. Number 11, a dash is a cat. A trolley is a cart with wheels for carrying heavy bags. And another name for taxi is a car. So please do the exercise as I've done it on the board. You have your homework on page 63 of your workbooks, and we have to skip listen and go to speak. Work in pairs. Now we should brainstorm the disadvantages and the advantages of traveling by bicycle, car, train, bus, underground, plane, and ship. We should use this adjective, this transport adjective that we have on the board. You also have them in your book. The transport adjectives are cheap, convenient, dangerous, economical, environmentally friendly, expensive, healthy, reliable, relaxing, slow, stressful, uncomfortable, and unreliable. We are going to use this adjective to give the advantages and the disadvantages of different means of transport which we have here in our books here. I will give some example. For example, traveling by bicycle is environmentally friendly, but that's an advantage of traveling by bicycle. It is environmentally friendly. And then the disadvantage of traveling by bicycle is that the bicycle is very slow. So I've given the advantage and the disadvantage. Another example is traveling by train is less expensive, is cheaper. Is cheaper, and traveling by plane is expensive. But there is an advantage and disadvantage also of traveling by plane. Traveling by plane is faster and expensive, while traveling by train is cheaper and slower. So you use these examples to do your own exercises. We have some examples here, which is number 2, discuss your ideas with your classmates. But since we are not in school, you are going to write it in your notebooks and submit in school. Thank you very much. This is where we come to the end of our class for today. See you in our next class. Bye-bye.